Okay, we're live now.
Oh, okay. Not ready.
All right, cool. I figured that'd be easier. Okay, guys. So this is our first S3 podcast. We don't have a name yet, but we got some great ones in the pipeline. My name is Jonathan Woolley. I am the editor, which means I kind of coordinate the content and write not all, but most of the articles. And then this clean cut guy is Mike Sanders. He's the other owner and the ad director. So I guess Mike, say what's up.
I'm basically the guy that just tries to make sure that on a day-to-day basis we don't go out of business. I also do all of Wooly's personal apologies for him. Anytime he writes something stupid and pisses off an advertiser or a subscriber or whoever it happens to be on that given Wednesday, yeah, that's my job as well. But yeah, we've been doing this for I guess what 11 or so
I
years
think
now.
12 years, a dozen.
Holy crap! Yeah, yeah, it's been a long time. Um, wow, I feel really old now that you said that. Anyway, but we've been doing this for a really long time. We've been doing the print thing for a really long time, and this is our first time really taking a stab at any type of new technology. I know podcasts aren't exactly anything new, but
They
damn it,
are
it's
to
difficult
us.
for us.
Yep. We spent a couple nights trying to make sure mics were on, so hopefully they're working now.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I guess what we were talking about is this one. We just do kind of a quicker intro to the magazine and how it came to be, and how it kind of fell into our laps. We did not start the magazine, but what the heck? All right, I'll just start. So I was in college at University of Georgia. Been into cars my whole life. My dad, was a car guy, so I grew up around it. That was our kind of Sunday football, and and so I was in college. It was a pipe dream to write for a magazine. Like, that's what I wanted to do. But in Georgia, like, where are you really going to do that? And so, long story short, I was a couple years out of college. I was floundering. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew what kind of job I didn't want. And then randomly, I saw an opening for this editor position at S3 Magazine. And I honestly hadn't heard of the magazine yet, but it was local, and it was kind of it was like my Eminem moment, It was like, man, this is my one shot. So I went all out for it. I was bugging this guy. His name was Todd Lamb. He was the publisher at the time, and it was right before the Sema show. This was 2005. I had this plan. My mom worked for Delta. She's retired from Delta, but and my dad worked in the automotive industry. So I used my two connections and flew out to SEMA last minute so I could like bump into Todd from S3 Magazine, which I did. And he was basically like, "All right, well, you're here. Write an article like you were writing an article about SEMA, and then give me a couple weeks, and when we get back in town, we'll talk." So that's what I did, and ended up getting the job. Dream job, obviously. Couldn't believe I got it. And then 6 weeks later, he calls me in his office and tells me that S3 was being sold to a company on the West Coast, and that we were asked to kind of finish the last issue, and that was going to be it. And I was like, no way, man, no way this is happening. That I had a taste at a damn dream job, and now it's being ripped out from under me. You just told all your friends. It was like worst case scenario, and so I was in his office like every morning, just bugging him, just saying, please give us 6 months, give us some sort of time. Come on, is there anything we can do? And finally he was like, look, this is our firstborn magazine. Um, we don't we don't want to see it die. We'll sell it to you and the designer, because the designer was hired just like a month before I was. And he's like, we'll sell it to you guys, let you use the office, and teach you how to actually run a magazine. Because I remember him saying, like, no offense, like, you don't know shit. Like, he was like, you know how to write some articles.
That's
That's
right.
that's the barely the first thing to run in a magazine. So we'll teach you that stuff. And so, me and the designer scrounged up any money we could find and bought the magazine. And okay, so around that time, we were pretty much going out of business every day, freaking out every day, trying to figure out how we could sell ads. But we had bought a magazine with some subscribers. It had a title, it had a name, it had a reputation of some sort. So
And
that,
some advertisers.
yeah, that's what I mean. It gave us a slightly open door, you know. And without that, we wouldn't have been able to, ever get started. But anyway, so one day I'm at lunch, and Mike, who I had met in college when he was a wee lad in high school, calls me up because he's in college at that point and says, "I heard you bought a magazine." Mike, you want to tell your side of that?
Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah. So first of all, as you guys probably heard from the story, Woolie's a little bit older than me. I was in high school, kind of just getting into the whole tuning area with all my high school buddies. Fast and Furious 1 had just come out. It was sweeping the nation. Our high school was just filled with modified cars. Every Friday and Saturday night, everybody would meet up at the local parking lots. That's kind of where I met Woolie. We both had DSMs, which back then was a big deal because we were kind of the only two guys in Athens with turbo cars, or there weren't many of us at least. So we kind of bonded a little bit over that, started a little bit of a friendship, fell off when I went to college. But yeah, so then I go down to college. I hear that Woolie's doing some cool stuff, and I immediately want to get involved. I'm in the School of Business, so it just made sense. He needed somebody to kind of help sell and run the business side of the magazine. So I jumped at the opportunity, not really thinking or knowing if it would ever turn into anything. But hell, I was in college. I didn't know what money was at this point in my life, and just trying to have fun. And so I jumped on the opportunity, and it turned out to be probably the best decision I've ever made with my whole life, to be honest. Not financially, but just in terms of having crazy stories and awesome experiences and meeting amazing people. And hey, look on the bright side, man. We get to build awesome cars, even still today.
That's true.
So yeah, that's kind of how it started for me. It quickly snowballed into a real thing, because there was really only three of us running an entire company. It was me running the business side of things, Woolie, pretty much writing every single word and really dictating the path that the company took on a day-to-day basis. And then Cody Wellens, who used to be our art director and, did a bang-up job putting out an awesome magazine for us for many, many years. So it was the three of us for a long, long time, just scrounging to get by. And of course, as soon as I'm about to graduate and get out of college and we kind of feel like the passion is getting us somewhere, 2008 hits and the housing market crashes, and then the whole economy goes to hell.
Gas is $4 a gallon.
Gas is $4 or $5 a gallon. It's impossible. Nobody's doing business. People are losing their houses, their jobs.
Are we gonna cuss on this?
Sure. I mean,
because I remember specifically. No, I remember. I'll keep it cleaner, but I remember at that point being like, well, we're screwed. This is it. And you got to understand, for the three people listening, from 2006 in spring, we got the magazine. Had no idea what we're doing, but drifting. Okay, so drifting's happening. So even though our magazine is not that good, it's good enough for every tire manufacturer to throw money at it, because they were throwing money in anything tuner at that point, anything import.
It really saved us.
So yeah, it saved us. And this is off topic, but again, no idea what I'm doing, right? So I get a call one day from a really cool guy that said he was with Scion, and he was like, "I heard you guys bought a magazine. What's the deal? What's going on? Just fill me in." And so I guess whatever, passion took over, and I blacked out and told him the whole story, kind of that we've been telling you so far. And I remember, I talked to him for maybe 20 minutes or something, and he was like, "All right, man, that's cool. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to meet you." And I was like, "All right, well, take it easy." And then the next day, I walk into our office, and there is a fax in our fax machine for an ad, for a few issues at a rate that was saved our company. I mean, it was kind of an
astronomical
rate. It was like something you'd see in a movie. I about passed out like Whoopi Goldberg or something. It was basically a giant hookup and a give it hell, guys, kind of thing from Scion.
Yeah.
So yeah, between Scion and drifting, we survived. And then, to give it back to Mike, so we survived for 2 years despite ourselves, despite every day we thought we were tanking and going under. And then 2008 hits, and we're like, okay, now we're proper screwed.
Well, and the one big thing that I think that kind of helped is that we were both still in that college kid mentality. We didn't know what success and money were yet. We hadn't had the taste of it yet. So, I mean, even though we wanted it, I think that kind of helped us because it didn't matter. We weren't trying to pay ridiculous bills. We didn't have mortgages. We didn't have super expensive vehicles that you had to pay a car note on every month. In fact, we lived in the office for a little while at one point. We just kind of did what we did to get through, and it worked. It worked really, really well, actually. And as you said earlier, I think passion is kind of what got us through all those years. Some of it was a little bit misguided, hateful passion. I'll admit, we kind of a lot of our fuel, for the fire came from it's the wrong word to use, but I'm just going to say it, hatred for some of the other magazines and kind of the way that they did business.
It was a very young punk rock attitude. We were mad at the big guy. We were mad at the sellouts.
We were the big guys,
and
yeah.
What a lot of you guys don't know is like it was Prime Media at the time, then it was Source Interlink, now it's 10, which is the Enthusiast Network. But like it's this conglomerate. They own 90% of the magazines that you've ever heard of. Whether it's about guns or surfing or skateboarding or cars or Reader's Digest or whatever, it's all owned in over one umbrella, more or less. And so as a magazine being run by like 3 people and a bunch of friends that were helping us out, like we're trying to compete with that. And that's where the hatred, that's where the hatred comes from. And it's always the punk rock attitude. You're mad at the sellouts. It was that simple. That's what fueled us for a long time. But anyway, go ahead. I forgot what you were saying, but I just was interrupting.
Oh, me too. I forgot what I was saying too. It doesn't matter though. But so passion is kind of what got us through it, and kind of is still to this day. I mean, we do this because we love it.
Now
we sure as hell don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
Because everybody's a competitor to us now. Joe down the street that made a blog and Patrick that made a YouTube channel. These guys are all competitors to us now.
Yeah, I wish we just had to fight Super Street and Modified. That would be great.
Yeah, it would have been great. But I mean, the sad truth is we lost a lot of good publications in the process of because the first thing to get cut whenever the economy is bad, as we've seen, is marketing. And when marketing gets cut, the first people to go out of business are the media companies. We've seen Honda Tuning and just a whole slate full of magazines. We won't rehash it all now, but all of them go under. Good people lose jobs, and it just sucks, man. It's no good. Nobody ever wants to see that. So I'll tell you this: we're going to try to keep going for as long as we can. I don't see us stopping anytime soon. So
Okay, so it's 2008, and while we thought we didn't have a hope in hell, it was kind of like, okay, we're going out of business, and if we're going out of business, we're going out in a at least a little ball of fire, So we kind of got angry, and the magazine got real. But the fact of the matter was, and we didn't see it at the time, is that we didn't know the good times. We were a small magazine that all we knew was broke and dollar beers on the weekends and stuff. And so like the big magazines, the one that had, the high-rise offices and stuff like that, like they were too fat. They couldn't survive it when times got tough. And despite ourselves, we didn't know any better. So we just kind of kept pushing through. And I mean, if we were smart, like we would have quit. But like we were stubborn, we didn't want to quit. It's our freaking magazine, So, we kept pushing through it. So, I don't know. 2008 turned into, 2018 real quick, man. And and somehow, we just keep living to put out another issue and finding our true north and our voice and trying to hone in on what we're doing. And it's still a freaking soap opera. It's an independent magazine in 2018.
It's a changing market every single day. Change of subject here really quick, but your story about Scion kind of made me remember maybe one of the funnest nights of my life. The first time we ever went to Sema, I was 20 years old and turning 21 the week that we were there. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So before we go, we're of course telling all of our advertisers we're super excited. We don't even know what Sema fully is, or at least I don't.
I had been that one time, yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't know the industry side of it. The after parties and the dinners and all the crazy stuff that goes on kind of behind the scenes.
When you get to go to Sema as media, it's awesome.
Man, yeah, because I mean, that's what I'm getting to here. So like 2 weeks before SEMA, we get this package in the mail from Scion, and it's got like gold chains and all sorts of crazy shit in it. And I have no idea what it is. And then we see it, and there's tickets in there for this SEMA after party that Scion is throwing. And we got the gold chains. It's the most amazing feeling in the world. I felt like it was in my honor. It was literally the night of my 21st birthday. It could not have been planned out more perfectly, even though it wasn't planned for that. But it was awesome. So we end up going, and it's like the craziest night of my life, man. I'm in Vegas, 21st birthday.
Open
and
bar,
it's just
dude.
a open bar.
It was open.
Right.
Like, yeah, the Scion knew how to throw a party. They rented out a club bar, whatever you want to call it. Just rented the whole stinking thing out and just open barred. Like, at least half the people that were there had little bracelets. It was an absolute ruckus. It was out of control. And that's probably when we fell in love with the automotive industry.
Yeah.
That was it. That was hook, line, and sinker right there.
I still vividly remember hanging out because we kind of stayed at that party pretty much till it closed down, and they were like turning the lights on saying, "Get the hell out of here, guys." I remember visibly hanging out with, who was it? Craig Taguchi from Scion.
Yeah.
I think that was his name. But yeah, and he was just such a cool, genuine guy. But at the end of the night, he was like, "I'm glad you guys came out. I think you guys have to work tomorrow. You should probably get the hell out of here." And he was right. Tomorrow came a few short hours later, and we
were still in our prime. We could handle it then.
Yeah, we could still handle it. But looking back, it's a little bit embarrassed to say, man, I went into all those meetings and probably still smelled like the night before, But it was a blast, man. I mean, it was awesome. I don't regret a damn bit of it.
Definitely fun. And I think maybe the moral, we talked about this for a second, whatever, the moral of the story for the kids, if you will. Not that you guys are kids, but I know a lot of you guys are, mid-20s or whatever that might be listening to this. Trying to figure out, I know I talk to a lot of people that are in the same boat, They're like, man, I just know what I don't want to do with my life. I kind of know what I want to do. Definitely know what I don't want to do. There was nothing that I did to set this up. It was a lot of dumb luck, man. It was a lot of you graduate college with a psychology degree and you're installing car stereos and then it just kind of, I found the right job on Monster Jobs of all places at the right time, and this is it. So I think kind of the moral is just be there. Just be present, be involved, especially today in 2018 when you can live the car life on a computer screen. It's not, maybe it is the same, I mean, you can network on a computer, but I didn't plan to own a car magazine. I didn't even plan to work at a car magazine. And I went from installing car stereos to owning a national magazine in 6 weeks. Just because I was freaking there and stubborn and wouldn't let myself be laid off. I wasn't going to let it happen. I loved my old boss, but I wasn't going back to him and saying, man, it didn't work out, So I think that's kind of the thing, man. It's kind of like that Yes Man movie, you got to just, if you are into this shit, if you're into cars or whatever it is, be into it. It's okay to be obsessive. That's all right. Everybody always said, your mama probably goes, oh, you shouldn't be so obsessed. No, that's okay. Being obsessed with something is good. So I don't know, man. That would be my advice. If we're gonna try and put a little bow on it and end it with a, whatever inspirational thing.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, the whole point is it's just like dating. Put yourself out there. Not only just for good things to happen, but just to be in the moment. We live so much of our lives nowadays behind the screen of a phone or a computer or something. And that's great. Documenting life and seeing what other people do with their lives is great. But you got to get out there and have your own, because that's where kind of the magical moments happen. That's where opportunities arise. So I think you're 100% right. Put yourself out there. I did it. Wooly did it. It worked out well for us. I'm not saying it's going to work perfectly for everybody, but you're probably going to have more fun in the process.
Well, here's the thing, too, that I've learned is if you have the mentality to just freaking go for it, you also have the mentality to not fall on your face. You know what I mean? So like, let's say the magazine didn't work. Like, and I didn't expect it to work. I remember going, okay, so we're going to buy the magazine for X amount of dollars. It's probably going to fail, but if we can make it last long enough to build our resume, to get
resume builder.
Yeah, to get our foot in the door, you know, to meet the person that's going to hire us next. Like, that's the thing. If you've got that mentality, like, you're not going to let yourself fail. So there is no fail. You know what I mean? Like, you might have little setbacks, or you know, it might not take you where you think it's going to take you, but you're ultimately not going to fail if you just follow what the hell you want to do, you know, and kind of do it stubbornly. And like I said, be obsessed. It's all right. So I don't know, man. That's about all I got. What about you? Besides the we got some business matters to attend to, and that's trying to figure out what we're gonna call this thing. I don't even know. Do podcasts have names? I think they have names.
I think they do. I've got a bunch here from our notes earlier today. We were not very productive at work today. We mostly just came up with a lot of really terrible names.
And one great one.
And one great. So a couple of them are serious. I'm going to start with those, and then we're going to go to the crap that's probably going to actually get picked later. First, the serious ones, S3 Media, Automotive Issues. There's also Prince Dead. That was a little funny, kind of serious. Where are the other serious ones? That might be it. Spooling Around. That one was kind of cool. I like it.
It's a good name. It's you know it's.
What are you guys doing today? Just spooling around.
Yeah, we get it.
All right, fine. All right, let's go to the shit ones. I vote for sausage. That's Woolies, by the way. Let me tell you a story about this.
That's actually the name. I vote for sausage.
It's called I vote for sausage.
Yeah.
So here's the story behind that. It's putting yourself out there again. We both lived in Athens, Georgia. We loved the town. It was an amazing place, mostly because you could drink every day and not be judged. But yeah, we thought about seriously buying a bar down there. One time we were looking at it, and we got pretty serious about it, bank involved and everything. And we got to the point where we were like, we got to think of a name for this thing. What are we going to call this bar? And of course, I'm spitting out brilliant ideas, and Willie says, sausage. What the hell are you talking about, man? We're going to call it Sausage. That's the name of the bar. The signature drink is going to be called the Big Sausage. And then we killed the idea because
I ruined it, apparently.
He ruined it for me. I don't know what happened after that, but I think I just walked away from the whole thing. So, as you're going to see by a couple of these names here, Wooly has a strange meat fetish. I'm not sure what it is.
I'm trying to get sausage into this deal somehow. But anyway, carry on.
Sausage is
sure.
I
vote for sausage.
Okay.
One option.
The next one is called the Meat Sweats, with meat spelled M-E-E-T.
Like, get it? Car meats. S3 Meat Sweats. And I think it'd make a good shirt.
A lot of wood. That was just because I was at work earlier today and surrounded by a lot of wood. Time to Waste. That one's pretty accurate. We should maybe go with that. The S3 Barbecue. That one's kind of funny. Waiting on B-Tech. Boost Lag. Beats Cleaning the Garage. Well, that's one way to do it. And this one is, Wooly says, is the game changer. This is the one. Keeping Up with the Carfashians. We might get sued for that one. Won't be the first time.
Car fashion. We're trying to keep up with like car trends, aka car fashions, car fashions. That's gold, man. We can stop it right there. But anyway, if you guys have, all three of you, Dad, if you guys have any suggestions for a good name or a smart name, let us know.
One that wouldn't get us sued or in any type of legal trouble would be preferred.
You kind of glazed over it real quick, but the S3 Waiting on VTech show, kind of like that. As a Honda guy, I like that.
I'm not a Honda guy. It's not my shtick.
We're all Honda guys. Okay. Well, peace out.
Right? All I got, man.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
Maybe we'll do another one. Thank you guys if you listened. Bye.
Thanks.